Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'd like to stay in Turkey and take a look at part 2 of this 24-hour Turkish civilian ration. So today I want to take a look at their lunch and dinner components. So let's get these out on a tray and see what they look and taste like. And welcome back to part 2 of this Turkish 24-hour ration review. Now this is the lunch and dinner part of this ration, and to save a little bit of time I've already got the lunch components out. Now, following the suggestions again printed on the front of the pack for the lunch menu, I'm going to try the bulgur pilaf with green lentils. With that, I'm going to have the chickpeas in tomato sauce. There is also a tea and a dates and nut bar. I also have salt and black pepper, some hot pepper just in case, and one of the wet naps. So I've had the meals pre-boiling for 10 minutes in a pan of water, so they're nice and hot. So the first thing I need to do is take a look at things that are going to need a bit of preparation, and in this case it is the tea. It does say it's Turkish tea. Whether that means anything specific I don't know, or whether that's just tea is grown in Turkey, I shall find out. So standard looking tea bag. I think I've just ripped it. I think I just ripped that tea bag, so I've got to be a little bit careful there. The string was attached inside the bag, so if I'm not careful I'm going to get tea leaves. So I'll just start there and give it about half a mug. As always, give it its best chance, some strength, and I'll try not to move the bag about too much so I don't end up with a load of tea leaves. So moving round, a very simplistic meal. There's really only the date and nut bar to open. So looking down, it looks like a chocolate bar. It does say just dates and nuts. It doesn't say anything about any chocolate, but looks down, looks like a little chocolate bar there. Put a wet nap to one side. Let's get this using the handle of the spoon, one of the small spoons that came, see-through spoons that came with it. I'll give that a bit of a mix. It's a very mild looking tea. Gave instructions on the pack to give it 2 or 3 minutes, so we'll follow the instructions. I think that's probably had a minute or two there. So while we're waiting for that, I think we'll just go ahead and open the bulgur pilaf with green lentils. So we'll just pour that into a bowl there. So very nice smell emanating from there. There's almost a smell of mint as you open it. So I can see that there's some bulgur wheat, some lentils there. Just pour that in as the name suggests. Very simplistic looking meal. There is 200 grams in each, so both these packs together will make a 400 gram meal. So this must have had about its 2 or 3 minutes now, following its instructions. So we'll take that out. Just use the handle there. So I'm going to try the bulgur wheat first, because obviously the chickpea and tomato sauce is meant to go over the wheat, so I'm going to pour that on in a minute. But before we do, let's have a little taste of the tea. Just standard black tea, good quality tea, no whitener. I am going to add one of the sticks of sugar, but as a black tea, already you can tell that is a good quality tea. Another little mix around there, so I give it a little bit of sugar. Very much an English breakfast style tea, but of good quality. Personally, I'd like that white, so a little bit of milk, but as it is, still a very enjoyable, very tasty, refreshing black tea. So move on to this bulgur pilaf, bulgur wheat and lentils. Let's try this on its own. I can smell mint. Soft, tasty. There is a mint herb background to it. Not sticky. Well cooked. Very simplistic flavourings. There is mint for certain, salt, black pepper, wheat and lentils. Very little else. I think there was a little bit of tomato. Looks like a little bit of tomato skin there. Maybe, I don't know if you can see that. Maybe a little bit of red pepper, bell pepper too. But very simplistic, very tasty, basic flavours. Now, to that, make a little bit of space there. That's very light. The grains separate nicely. It's filling. I'm going to add to it the chickpeas in tomato sauce. So I'm going to add that to the side of the dish so the two can be combined. This will form my lunch. So, as the name suggests, chickpeas in tomato sauce. So now let's have a look at those. So very much just a load of chickpeas and a very moist liquid tomato looking sauce. Wow. Those chickpeas are quite hard, quite firm. They're very rare, barely done. Still got a lot of texture. Got to put that down, it's burning my hands. A lot of texture, require a lot of chewing for a pea. Again, very simplistic flavours. Not a lot of flavours going on there. In the chickpeas, it is very lightly salted and peppered. Let's try some with the bulgur pilaf. Does need the pilaf to enhance it. It's very bland on its own. I am going to add some more of the black pepper first. So this is black pepper. Just try. Oh, got to mix that in well now. It looks like I've emptied the entire pack of black pepper there on the edge, but it's certainly needed. It is certainly lacking. Let's see if I can get that a good mix though. Let's try that. Still very mild. I'm going to add some of the salt. Give it a good mix around. Again, very under seasoned. The wheat, the bulgur pilaf was just seasoned just enough, but the chickpeas was very under seasoned. Much better. Try the two together. Now there is some flavour in the chickpea mix. Yeah. In my opinion, certainly needed the salt and black pepper, giving it a lift, enhanced the whole meal, the whole dish. Out of interest, I'm just going to try a few of the red hot pepper flakes, and I think it will be the chickpeas that need it the most, so let's try not to get too much in here in one go. Having great difficulty opening that packet. So a couple in there, a couple of those chili flakes, hot pepper flakes, I don't know if you can see them there. Give those a mix in. See if that's actually done anything. Not enough. There's no kick there. I'm just going to give it the whole dish a lot more of that hot pepper. I think it certainly needs it. Very mild in flavours. Hopefully this has just lifted the whole thing. One more try. It says red hot pepper, but I've emptied the entire packet in there. It's got the slightest, mildest pepper kick, but it has salt, black pepper and the hot pepper has lifted that greatly, made it a lot more tasty dish. Just refresh my palate. Well, I'll just quickly take a look at this nut and date bar. It's nice and soft, looks like compressed dates, does actually look like chocolate still. Let's have a taste of this. Quite bitter. I think there might actually be some cocoa in there. Does got a slight chocolatey taste. Let's see if it does actually say cocoa in the ingredients. Fortunately, it's one of those few ones that doesn't have the English, but it does taste very much like there's a cocoa in there. If not, it is the dates. They're very bitter, very dark. But it's soft, tasty, slightly sweet. Difficulty tasting the nut. I would say there's almost a slight orange flavour going on in there as well. Bit of orange seasoning, orange essence. There's certainly a orange background, but it is tasty. It is slightly sweet. It is a nice, tasty bar. So, I'm just going to take one last look at this wet nap. A nice, stretchy, semi-material, not the paper. Very strong. There is a citrus smell to it, a bit like cleaning fluid, sort of kitchen detergent smell to that. Not overly wet, just strong, moist, and a slightly detergenty smell. Move to one side. Not the best naps out there, just a light dusting, and the smell soon goes, which is good. So overall, filling, enjoyable lunch with the addition of the salt, the pepper and the red peppers. On its own, the pilaf was the best component. Mixed together, it did need the addition, in my opinion, of all of the extra seasonings. So join me in a couple of moments where I take a look at the evening meal, or the third final dish. So see you in a couple of seconds. Bye for now. And welcome back to this third and final meal from this Turkish 24-hour ration. And like all the other meals, I have taken the final dinner components from the suggested menu on the front of the pack there. And for the final dinner, or the third meal, it's suggested we have the whole wheat pasta with the chicken with curry sauce. There is a green tea. I did think it was a mint, but it is actually green tea. Take a look at the Hellever. And as in the last meal, I have salt, pepper and the hot chili pepper just in case. So we'll start off like we normally do with the things that need a bit of preparation, and that is the tea. Now this is just a plain green tea. I think green tea, you tend to drink it just as it is. No sugar, no milk. So we'll give that a try. So standard little Lipton's tea bag. I think Lipton's is known pretty much around the world. It seems to crop up in many rations. And as always, I'll just give that about half a mug, just to give it its best chance of flavour and taste. I'll just give that a little bit of agitation, and we'll come back to that after it's had time to do its thing. So the main meal, as I said, it's been pre-boiled for about 10 minutes. The label's starting to come off and already it's going cool, so it's not very heat efficient, this pouch, but it's starting to cool already. And as always now, because I have and because I can, I'm going to put it in a little bowl there. So this is whole wheat pasta. It says Durham wheat pasta, and it just looks as the name suggests. Now that is a very firm pasta there. Can't separate it. This fork isn't a lot of use. I might need to bring in the knife to cut it. So obviously meant to be eaten with the sauce, and I will be in a minute, but I want to taste of the pasta first. Very sticky. I think it was spiral pasta, spiral type pasta, but it does seem to have just stuck into a big gelatinous lump, so there's a little piece of the pasta there. Very, very plain. Again, lacking flavour. No salt, no pepper, no seasoning. It is just boiled pasta. Quite chewy, quite gelatinous, and already going cold. Not the best pasta I've tasted. Overcooked, soggy, not just al dente. Let's have a look at this chicken with curry sauce. Now obviously this is meant to go over the top, so I'm just going to pass it over the top. It looks like there's some slight green in there, like a green curry. And again, certainly lots of chicken. There's a nice aroma coming from there. Again, the chicken looks like it's very well cooked, so just try a little bit of that first on the fork there. Stringy. Still has texture. Surprisingly, for what I would call a curry coming from the UK, not a lot of texture, taste or heat. Very mild. No heat there at all. From the UK, we do like a lot of curries, and they tend to be quite hot sometimes, quite spicy. This is virtually, it's more like a chicken soup. Wouldn't actually call this a chicken curry. Lots of chicken, lacking the flavour of traditional UK Indian style curry. The pasta is still a solid gelatinous mess, lump, very difficult to break, in even now it's now wet with the curry sauce. I'm finding I'm digging, trying to break that pasta lump, get some sauce in there. I'm having to work hard. That pasta just does not want to come apart. It does look like it was vacuum sealed, so it was cooked pasta, vacuum sealed, and as a result it's just stuck into a large mass, starting to break down now. I'm having to work at it, as you can see. It was not going to just break down on its own. So let's have another look now. It's all well mixed in. So I don't know if you can see that there. Very, very gelatinous pasta. Simple, basic flavours. Does seem like there is salt. Does seem like there is pepper. Chicken is stringy, has texture. No heat there at all. Certainly not what I would call a curry coming from the UK. More like a chicken soup on pasta. So I am going to add, I think I will add, going by the last meal, the entire pack of this hot powder, red hot, what's it called, red hot pepper. Again, obviously in Turkey, the interpretation of what is a hot and spicy curry is not the same as a UK interpretation. This is quite mild, even with that whole packet of hot powder on there. So again, a bit of a mix in. Let's give it another try. Again, I have all of those so-called hot pepper flakes on there, and there's still no heat. Very, very mild background kick. The hot pepper is pretty much just like a standard black pepper in heat. Certainly not chili. I did forget my tea, so it should now be well stewed, well flavoured. Certainly the main meal is filling, it's gelatinous, there's a lot of meat in there, but it's disappointing from the British or the UK's idea of a curry. Green tea, very simplistic, very mild flavour, but it is a nice refreshing hot drink. You could add a little bit of sugar, but I won't. It is quite nice just as the green tea. So last and final item, and take a look at this plain Hellever. Now I believe this is a very traditional sweet in areas such as Turkey. I have seen it before. So it's a very simplistic white, easy to break, almost looks like a fudge texture, a UK what we'd call fudge. So let's have a bite of that. Very dry. Not as sweet as you might expect. There is a slight little bit of bitterness, tartness to this one. Again, I wouldn't say a lot of flavour. I'm not sure if there is nut in there. There is a taste of nuts. But it's very simplistic, very dry, very thirst provoking, soft, easy to chew, a little bit of sweetness, not overly sweet. Let's have a palate cleanser. So verdict for the final meal, certainly filling, lots of it, not a curry, not as the name suggests. Even with the addition of the so-called red hot pepper, there is no spice, no heat, no kick. Certainly salted, certainly peppered, certainly flavoursome, just very stodgy and very heavy meal. So overall, this Turkish 24-hour civilian ration is enjoyable, basic flavours, basic seasoning. The only thing I really didn't like was the black olives, but again that was a personal issue. I'm the sort of person that don't like black olives. You either love them or you hate them. I actually don't like black olives, so but the olives themselves were of a good quality. If you like black olives, they would have been very enjoyable. Overall, suitable for the purpose, 24 hours worth of food, but not overly exciting, I don't think, with the basic flavours. So I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.